do hope you're doing well. Right, we are in comfies. It is cold, so we've got a cardigan on today. We are makeup free, apart from a little bit of eyelash because I had them on for a few days and can't be bothered to take them off. Story of my life. As you will all know, if we're sitting here, I've got my drink of choice here, which just so happens to be a Copperberg cider. Yes, I'm a little bit on a sweet tooth at the moment. And look at me, rambling as always. Today, my lovelies, is another episode of Sit Down with Shan. And the topic for this month is relationships. Anything to do with relationships, relationship tips, worries, struggles, you name it, we will cover it. I've had quite a few. I think this is the biggest response I've had so far on my Instagrams. If you don't already know, I have a food and a lifestyle Instagram. If you love to see what I'm eating and cooking, your food one's down there. And if you want to see anything to do with my general life, and that is where I do all of my stories. So if you want to be involved in our next month's Sit Down with Shan, whatever the topic may be, not quite sure yet, it'll all be down in the description box down below, and as I say, that'll be where I'll always put bits out in the stories to get some involvement from you guys. So Shan, stop rabbiting, let's get comfy. There's probably going to be a lot of moving about. You know what I'm like, I can't get like comfortable in my bed. I have to like, 1 minute you're there, then you're there. Stop rabbiting and let's get in with another episode of Sit Down with Shan, all things relationships this month, my lovelies. Right, so as I say, I asked you all over on my lifestyle, and I think I popped you up on the food one as well this time. Anything to do with like relationships, if you had any tips, any struggles, any bits and bobs like that. And I had quite a lot. So I had one of my lovely ladies, she said, relationships are tough but so rewarding. I'm so lucky I found my hubby 31 years ago. 31 years, oh my god, I would love to get to that stage. Like, that's just wow. That could be like a third, a quarter of your life. Like, oh my god, I can't even think about that. Like, now I'm pushing the wrong side of the 20s. 30 is definitely like coming to the forefront as the next big birthday. And I'm not going to lie, I'm having a lot of birthday anxiety from it. But I think when you're coming into your 30s, a lot of people think you're married, kids, house, all of that. And I just think, I don't know if it's my generation, I just don't think that's at the forefront of everyone's mind at the moment. Like, I know a lot of my girls are just wanting to travel, be out there on their own. But I am like so happy for you. I think that's so cute. Like, when I looked at like my nan and granddads and my aunts and uncles, and they're like from that era. My nan always used to say, like, we was from an era, if it was broke, you didn't have social media to go and, like, swipe left or swipe right on someone else. You worked at it, you knuckled down. You might not speak for a couple of weeks or months, but you stuck it out if you had kids, a house, anything like that. And I do like that. I do think that sometimes, like, maybe my generation or younger, we don't value it as much. It's very quick and easy to be done with it and on to the next one, as we shall say. But yes, I'm so happy for you, and she is a very lovely lady, so thank you so much for commenting in, and all the happiness to you and your hubby. I had quite a few people wanting to know more about Brandon, more about Brandon. How did you meet Brandon? How old is Brandon? Is he older than you? Like, B, he's probably not watching this, but a lot of people wanted to know more about B. And I said to him the other night when I was going through the answers, I said, maybe we should do like a little couple sit down. And he was like, I was like, look, right? I said, the people want to know about you. The people want to know more about you. I said, because at the minute, you're just a little shadow or a flitting image from the log cabin video. So he was like, no, he's very camera shy, as I say. You might see him in the upcoming log cabin when we go away in July. You might see him in holiday vlogs. You might even see him in like daily vlogs now, generalised, because we can go and stay at someone's home and we can go inside. Is it inside? Yeah, we're allowed inside 2 households. We can go outside. So hopefully you might see a little bit of him, but who knows? He is very camera shy, very much like Dada. So I'm not entirely sure. But where should we kick off? So more about B. Age, is he older? How did you meet? Dada. So no, actually I am older. Not by much though. So we tried working this out when we first got together. He is February 96 and I am May 95. So I think it's like 9 months. So his mama was just conceiving bee, shall we say, when I popped out. So yes, there is 9 months between us, and oh my god, I'm going to sneeze. Does my eyelash still on? Oh, always sneeze when I have lashes on, don't I, my lovelies? And that was kind of like a running joke when we first got together, that I was older, and he would always say, when you get to 30, I'll trade you in, don't worry. I'm almost pushing 30. I'm hitting the wrong side of the 20s now. So if you're going to trade in, trade in. But yes, no, so actually I am older. I am like a cougar. I'm taking after Mumma G. And Mumma G was the cougar, but quite different. So there was 9 months between me and B. Between Mumma G and Dada, here's a little family fact for you. There's 9 years. Mumma G was 30 and Dada was 21 when they met. She was a cougar, was she not? He was in nappies and she was fully grown. But yes, we always have a running joke with that. When I said it was 9 months, Mum said, well, it's not 9 years. I was like, not quite at your stage yet, Mumma G. So yes, I'm 9 years older. 9 years? Oh God, look at me. I think the side is going to my head a bit. I'm 9 months older. And what was the other one? How did we meet? Now, it would be fun to get his version of events, because as we all know, ladies, a men's version always differs to the woman's. So here's mine. I was working in retail. I had been single for about 10 months, I would say, and just loving life. I was focusing on me. I was in the gym, didn't have to answer to anyone, loving life. And we needed some Christmas temp workers in our shop. As you know, I used to work in retail. I used to work in the furniture. I was going to say funeral sector. Not quite there just yet, Shan. But I was in the furniture sector. So we had all these interviews for temps. And as you do, well, as me and my boss used to, anyone who would get put forward for an interview, we'd go and try and find them on Facebook. Just so like you had a little bit of a knowing about us, about them. I don't know what it is, you know, when you get like, not nervy, but as I say, you don't really see B. I don't talk much about him, or like, well, I do. I always say like when he wants his sweets and that, but I don't talk about us. So I might seem like a little bumbling baboon at the minute, but it's just very weird, okay? So bear with me. We used to Facebook stalk them to see what they were like, so we kind of had an idea before they come in. Oh my God, this particular day of interviews, it was just a car crash. We had a Brandon previously who, bless him, he turned up in a tracksuit and he was really nice. But then we asked him, like, because obviously he wasn't old enough to do the finance agreements in the shop, if say he'd have made the sale and then one of the other colleagues had put the finance on and got the commission, how would he feel? And we was expecting, like, the majority of responses we had from the kids were just like, oh, whatever, like, I can't do finance for thingy. And the kid was like, well, I'll make them, like, give me the commission. And we was just like, oh. We had 2 no-shows. We had a young girl who said she didn't want to do it. She was just turning up to the interview because her mum made her. And it was just kind of going a little bit Pete Tong that day. And me and my boss, we was like, we're never going to get any temps at this rate. And then all of a sudden, we just saw this figure walk past. And I thought, he must be here. He's in a suit. And you know when you see someone and it was like he was nice, smartly dressed, as I say, a lot better than the candidates we'd had in the previous days and that morning. And he come in, he was very quiet. Mumma G always says to me, look at those shoes. The first thing I look, nice, sparkling, polished shoes. He walked in very quiet, may I say, very quiet. And he come over to the front desk and he was like, oh, I'm here for an interview. And my boss at the time, he was like, yeah, just go and take a seat over there. And I was like, oh, he's nice. And my boss was like, right. And I was like, no, like, come on. He was just going to see what he's like. He could have been a total car crash. But he weren't. He said the right things. The boss liked him. And then they shook hands. I was the note taker. And it was like, okay then, we'll see you. We'll let you know and see how it goes on. So we went out. And then I think it was like 2 weeks later, we had to make the final decision. And my boss was like, oh, I'll get like that Brandon kid in. And I was like, oh, all right. And then, you know, as we do, because I always remember at the time his Facebook profile picture was a group photo, him and his boys. And you know when you try and pick which one's what? And I picked him and my boss picked one of his friends. So when he turned up, I was like, I got the picture right. And yeah, my boss, I think then like Facebook stalked him and tried to find everything out about him. And I was just like, whatever. We didn't know if he drove or anything like that, because that was going to be asked when he come in for like his induction day. I'm going to sneeze again. What is up with me? Oh my God. And yeah, it was about 2 weeks after we made the final decision. We had him and a few other temps come in. And then, I don't know, he come in and I'm very nervous. You might think that's weird, but if I'm around people I don't know or the situation is just a bit awkward, I am very like, whoa, I'm going to take a step back. So in essence, I kind of avoided him, as horrible as that sounds, because I did think he was a nice looking lad, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And everyone was saying to me like, oh, we're going to talk to him about you and try and find stuff out about him and that. And I was just like, the boy's just here to do a temping job, like let him do his job. And then after, I think he'd only worked for like a couple of hours, and my boss like really took a liking to him. I think he like thought of him like his little boy, and he was like, oh, we've got a part-time position. Do you actually just want to work here part-time? I think it was like 20 odd hours or something. And B was like, yeah, no worries, do. So it was like, right, so then we had to, I was in charge of rotas. We had to rota and schedulise and everything like that. I remember his first full day, apparently, I was off. I didn't used to work weekends when I went into more the admin side. Apparently his first weekend, bless him, they like ripped him. They was asking him 24/7 questions. What he was like, what he liked doing, did he drive, da. Like, this is why I want to get like his opinion on it, because I think it probably could have been very daunting. I was the only female in a group of 6 or 7 staff members, and like I'd been there 4 years, so these men that I'd worked with for all these years, they were like my dads and my brothers and my uncles in a way, so they was very protective. And because of what happened with my ex and when I was single, they was like very like on the lookout. So I think they had a bit of an interrogation on him, bless him, and that was a Sunday if I remember correctly. And then I went to work Monday. Everyone was speaking about him, and his next shift wasn't until the Thursday with me. And I remember he come in and oh my God, I run upstairs because I just felt so awkward, because I thought, oh my God, they've been pummeling this poor kid and I've not even said 2 words to him. And I felt awkward because I didn't want him to be awkward or feel like uneasy around me, because all that I'd said was, I think he's a good looking guy, which you could say about anyone, but the men in my workplace, being the men in my workplace, they wanted to like almost vet him, which I can't imagine, because they could have been quite intimidating in that way. But I think he held his own. He done all right. And I think he come upstairs or something and he was like, oh, hi. And I was like, oh, hi. And I was just doing my paperwork and that. And then we had a mutual friend. Well, he was a man that I'd worked with. He'd come from another branch, but he really took a liking to B. He took him under his wing and that. And he would always be like, if we was going for lunch, he'd invite him, or like if him and B were going for lunch, he'd invite me. And he was trying to like, he was almost like Cupid in a way, like he wanted us together. And he kept saying to me, he's really good, like he's been in a long-term relationship. Because when you see a photo of lads, you do get preconceived, I'm not gonna lie. And I was very guarded, I think at that time. I was a bit like, meh, don't know, I don't want to get into like players and all of that. And I think on that Thursday night, he was finishing at 5 or 6, he was on an early and I was on a late. And he said, oh, my friend DJ's, I'm going out tonight. And I was like, all right. And he said, where his friend DJ'd, and I knew the little place. He said, yeah, we all go out every Thursday. And, you know, you just think, oh. I was like, really? Like, it's a lad's lad and all of that. But, funny thing, well, it weren't funny, it was terrible. That night, I fell down the stairs at work. This is why I want him here, because I feel like it's just me thinking about this. But we had to do point of sale, changing the promotions. And I was coming down the stairs and I missed the last 3 steps and I face planted. And when I say face planted, I face planted this sofa. I'm sure I left a makeup imprint in it. I wish I could get the guy that we used to work with as well, because I would love to have a sit down with him, like getting your old work colleagues back. Oh, I miss them all so much now. Right, anyway, Shan, stop rambling. I fell down the stairs that night. Had to do an accident log, all of that. And I was on the late shift with the man who was like Cupid for us. He had B's number and he'd been messaging and all of that. And he messaged B and said, oh my God, you never guess what Shannon's done. And he was like, what? And he said, she's fell down the stairs. So I can't remember how I think he must have given B my number. Because there was something to do with Snapchat, I remember. I think he asked B, do you have Snapchat? And he was like, oh, exchange Snapchats. I didn't really use Snapchat that much. B doesn't use social media, point blank. But I can't remember. I think he must have given him my number. And then that night, I had a message and he was like, oh, I take it you didn't go to the gym then? Because my plan was after work to go to the gym that night. And I was like, oh. He's obviously told you I stacked it down the stairs. And we was just having like a little chat and that. And he said like, oh, I'm out with my friends and that. And I was like, all right, I'll see you for your shift tomorrow or whatever. But he kept messaging. And then it was just like flowing. And then I think I fell asleep or whatever. And then I saw him the next day for work. He weren't hungover, which my boss, he was like dreading. Because when I said like, oh, he's going out on night out, he said, I can't deal with like kids coming in hungover. I'm not going to lie, throughout my years in retail, there was a few partial. I would turn up to work like quite hanging, but bit of a McDonald's breakfast and I was good to go. But he didn't. He turned up all right, and then he started to get like extra shifts and all of that. And the following day, so that was the Thursday, it worked very quick. Like this is, you're going to get like a rundown of me and B. And apologies that this section is so long, but as I say, there was quite a lot about B, how do we meet and all of this. So that was the Thursday, I stacked it down the stairs. Friday, he was on a shift, I think finishing at 6. No, he finished at 5 and I finished at 6. But he was like hanging about and he said, oh, the boys want me to go out to London tonight or something like that. And I was like, all right. Hint, I am rubbish at taking hints, okay? And he said, oh, he's like, I want to like maybe go out, but I don't want to go out with them. And me being me, I'm like, well, just tell him you don't want to go out. Like, what's the big deal? So he's like, oh, but he's like, I want to go and see a film, but I've got no one to see a film with, or something like that. And I was not getting these hints whatsoever. So we stayed till 6, and then I was like, right, see you later, I'm off. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll go too. And we was walking to the car, and I can't remember if he put his arm around me, like for a hug or something. And I was like, okay. I was just like, right. And then he was saying about a film. And I still was not getting it. Even to the point of walking to the cars, I still was not getting it. And then I think he just come out and said like, do you want to go see a film? And I was like, oh. I was like a date. He was like, well, do you want to go and see a film? And I was like, all right then. And then like we had a local cinema near us anyway. So he was like, oh, I'll let you know what time I get home. We'll see viewings, da da da. I was like, yeah, no worries. I was driving back and I thought he ain't going to message whatever. Got indoors. I think I was starting to get like ready for bed because I thought he's not going to call or anything. He messaged and he was like, oh, there's a showing of Daddy's Home 2 at whatever time. We had like half hour spare. He was like, I can get there in time. I was like, yeah, no worries, I'll get down there. Because at that point I didn't know where he lived. But it turned out he only literally lived 10 minutes down the road from me. How weird is that? So we went to the cinema, met him at the cinema, and because it was the first time I'd seen him outside of his work clothes, because we had to be like suited and booted, I was like, actually, he's got a good little bit of fashion sense. He had Timberlands, jeans, he had like a short sleeve black top on, if I remember correctly, and a jacket, which his jacket then got stolen a week or so later when we went out to the club. So that was great. And he had a cap. Now, I do like caps. You know me, I love a big fedora, but I am partial to a cap every now and then. And I think it just adds a little bit of style. But yeah, we went on our date and it was very nice. Look at me. Anyway, the rest of me and B, that's like, maybe we'll try and get him to do like a story time with me. We'll try and have like a sit down proper thing, because I think I could go rambling on forever about this. But to round it all off, I am 9 months older. I met B at work. I interviewed him. I seized him. I took him. I'm only joking. I completely did not. I was the lady and he asked me out like a gentleman. But it was very quick. And a lot of people, I think, thought that won't last. And here we are 3.5 years later. So yes, if you want like a story time or anything just on me and B, let me know down below and I will try to get him involved if I possibly can. Maybe get like a few people in, like Mumma G, maybe his parents, like first impressions. What did she think of him? What did they think of me? That could be a fun little video, but let me know down below if you would want to see anything like that. And I'm going to stop because I'm going to go rabbiting for ages. Right, before I get on to the next one, we need to have a drink, my lovelies, because that was long-winded, wasn't it? Right, we've moved you about a bit, as I say. I'll try and get comfy, you know. So, we've covered me and B. So another one that's kind of relating to me and B, and also with the current situation, one of my lovely followers said, do you get to see your boyfriend now, and how did you stay so strong through lockdown? Now, I'm not going to lie to you, if you saw my first sit down with Shan back in, I think it was August 2020, was it? I think so. I was not dealing with lockdown at all, because me and B had spent every night together since we started going out, apart from one night he had to go on a business trip, and our first Christmas Eve night we didn't spend together, but apart from that we'd been together. And I did struggle on the first bit of lockdown, I'm not going to lie, and I just couldn't grasp the fact that like we weren't allowed to see each other. And we had like FaceTime and all that, but it weren't the same. It was like you just want to like hug someone. Like sometimes when you're watching a film, you just want to cuddle. So thank goodness for FaceTime. Thank goodness for technology. And yeah, I mean, I saw him probably a handful of times outside. We'd sometimes like meet up at Tesco's and just like speak through the cars or whatever. Or maybe we would go and walk the dogs. I would walk behind. Sorry, my eyelash is itching me. Oh, I'd walk behind, or like we'd still be distance walking the dogs and that. But yeah, it was hard. And I think we did go through a patch when it was like, because there was no end in sight with lockdown, like what is the point? Do we just break it off now and then restart when lockdown's finished? Because it is hard to have a relationship through lockdown. And I don't really know how he found it. I think he was alright. I don't know. As I say, we don't really speak about it, or like from his point of view. I think he missed like the cuddles and that. He is a cuddly person. But, pardon me. Oh God, it's that cider. Making me a bit gassy now. I think he was alright. As I say, he never really lets on if it bothers him or anything. Like I would be the one like on the phone like, oh my God, I don't like this anymore. I hate Boris Johnson and all of that. And he'd just be like, it's fine, it will be done with shortly. So I always say to him, like, he probably enjoyed it because he was furloughed. He could play his games and he didn't have me nagging on in his ear to get off the gaming. But hey ho, I think he missed the cuddles. And as I say, now we can stay around each other's. We're not going to go back to every night at one another's, because it used to be like, we'd be at his one night and then mine, or mine 2 nights and then his 2 nights. But I think through lockdown, we've each got like our own routines now in a way. So I come home, I go for my walk with Mama G, do my editing, do filming, bits and bobs like that. He might go home, walk the dog, he has his gaming tournaments, whatever, wants to watch a film, chill out, whatever. So I think we're going to say out of the week, we're going to see each other 4 days out of the week. Fridays, Saturdays. Well, I say see each other, like we're probably going to see each other every day, because we normally see each other coming back from work all the time because of our timings crossover. But I think it's going to be stay over Monday and Wednesday. So Tuesday he normally goes football, and Tuesday's my upload day, so that's fine for me and fine for him, because his football doesn't finish till like 10:30 some nights. So there's no point in going to anyone's after that, because you literally just go and crash your head and that's it. And then Wednesday will be at one another's. Thursday I think we're going to have a night apart, because he can do like his gaming, I can do my editing, because again it's upload night. And then Friday, Saturday we're going to alternate, I think, between the homes. I'm not quite sure, or whether we're just going to be like, say, Monday, Wednesday at mine, Friday, Saturdays at his. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. And then Sundays, if I'm at his, I'll obviously be with him for maybe like half the day, or if we're doing anything, and then I'll come back here and have the evening to myself, maybe like a self-care, because I still want to keep certain aspects. I don't want it all to go, as probably as selfish as that sounds, but you have to have your own, I feel, routines in a relationship. You still have to be your own person. So as I say, hopefully by having that balance, he can still in the week play his games, I can do my editing, but then come Friday, Saturday and the days that we are together, that's it. There's no editing last minute, there's no thumbnails, there's no games. It's literally just we spend time together and do stuff. So I think it might work out for the better. I think, as I say, we've seen each other every day, but then if he'd be on games and I didn't obviously do YouTube there, I would just be there scrolling through Netflix. And even though you're together, you're kind of not together, because he'd be doing his games and I would literally either be downstairs or watching Netflix. So I think by doing it kind of this way, we still have our space to do our bits and bobs, but then when we're together, we do, like, we are together in a way. So yes, but I would say how we survived it: communication, vent when you have to vent, do not let it build up. Like, if I was getting frustrated or he said something that annoyed me, I'm not going to just be like, nah. I would tell him. Likewise, if I annoyed him, he would tell me. And then you just have to kind of like think of the bigger picture. He was quite good at, like, when I was really down, he'd be like, just think of the holidays. Just think of the holidays to come. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know if we're going away on holiday. Like, he's trying to be positive and I'm Miss like neggy over here. But yes, he was funny, bless him. Well, not funny, you know what I mean. But yes, so I would say communication, technology, thank goodness. And we would do towards, I don't think we've done it at the beginning, but towards the end we started doing like little film nights. So I'd set up a film on my laptop and he'd set it up on his computer, stick the iPad or the phone somewhere on FaceTime, and like we'd watch a film together but not together. Hope that clarifies that, my lovelies. And then let me have a look. Another one of my lovelies says, I've been with mine 18 years. You do you. Yes, you do you. And I'm so glad that you have been together for 18 years, because clearly it works, and that is just a lovely, lovely little thing to read, my lovelies. Another one, do not start off doing everything yourself, as your partner then expects that. Oh my God, I totally relate. So you know what it is? I think as women, we just very, I think we're like maternal in a way. I don't know what it is, but if there's a plate on the side or anything like that, I'll always take it down. But I do get that, my lovelies, because then it does get expected. And I have had little rants with B in the past about this. So, like, if he knows I'm going there, he may leave some stuff up in his room. And then, obviously, I get there and I'm like, B, come on, it's a pigsty. And I take it all down. And guess what? His room's clear. But the last few times, like, when I've seen him or he's been in the FaceTime, and I'm like, B, look all them glasses in the bag. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And when I popped around there the other night, because we was dropping some bits off, I just walked in and I didn't even pay attention. Because I thought if I don't answer or like acknowledge it, he's not going to think, oh, she's going to take it. And I just walked in and I was just like, So yes, and I think he did take it down if I remember correctly. Because when I FaceTimed him later that night, the glasses weren't on there, so he must have took it down. But yes, it's got to be very equal in a relationship, I think. It can't be a one-way street. If one does something, it has to be like reciprocated or anything like that. Share the chores, share the thing, or if one does one, one does the other. But yeah, it can't be like one-sided in a way, because I think that could put a lot of strain on relationships. And yeah, so hopefully, because I say to him, if we do move out together, which may be on the cards in a couple of years, who knows, but if we do, I am very, as you all know, my lovelies, OCD, meticulous, everything has its place. Whereas B's very like carefree. If he puts something on, he'd just be like, meh. And there's like a coaster there, and I'll be like, put it on the coaster. So yes, they're just little like, what's it, like little teething things. I'm sure like we can work our magic on them, my lovelies. What else did we have? I need a drink. Pardon me, I'm getting gassy and I'm still drinking my cider. Another one, my lovelies, says, coming out of lockdown and getting back to normality. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw him, it was weird. It's like that probably sounds really like, not bad, but it was like strange, because like when you have a hug, you're like, oh my God, you're actually like there. And then it was just like, you got to get used to being in each other's company again, my lovelies. So it was strange, because it was like, oh my God, like you're back in each other's company now. But yeah, it's just, I think, taking it gradually. As I say, I think if we come out of lockdown and we went bam straight into like seeing each other every day, I think that could put a lot of pressure and a lot of strain on us. But we're doing it like bit by bit, gradually. And as I say, seeing each other 4 days out of 7, we're still having our days apart to do what we want, and then we might build it back up to seeing each other every other day. But I think, oh, I'm so sorry. It's been a long day, and my roast dinner is cooking as we speak, so I can smell it wafting through, and it's making me sleepy. But I think with everything that's still going on here, like, I don't really want to leave Mum a lot because of the stuff going on with the bird upstairs. He's obviously aware of that, so I think we're like balancing it out quite right. And literally, I'm only like 10 minutes down the road if anything does kick off, which, touch wood, should be a silly woman if anything did kick off. But yeah, so it's just about balance, and it's about almost reintroducing yourself to each other. It's like you got to get back to knowing each other in a way. Like, it's all good being on FaceTime and all of that, but like, I don't know, it's like all the little habits and all of that you forget that each other have, and you just have to go with it. So yes, it's just, to say, baby steps. I think like coming out of lockdown and that, it's just going to be about like taking baby steps. And then what one shall we end it on? Ba-da-ba-ba. How many relationships have you and B had? I can't comment on B's. It's not my place to comment on B's. But I would say that I have had serious relationships, 2. You have your one in school, don't you? You have like your first love or whatever it is. I think that lasted about 6 months. And then I was with my ex, of whom I was with 7 years, from 15 to 22. And then that ended, and I was on my own, I say, about 10 months. And then I met B, and I've been with him about 3.5 years so far. 4 years this December. So yes, I would say 2 proper relationships, like ones that have actually gone over a year. And then if you count like your little first high school crush one, whatever you want to call it, that lasted I think about 6 months in total. But yes, so only 3, my lovelies, I would say. But I would say like 2 proper, what I call like proper adult relationships, I would say was just B and my ex, because they're like the lengthiest ones, as you would say. Because yeah, I mean, being 15 years old, you get into a relationship, you sometimes think, oh, it's not going to work. And then when it does work and it goes down and then it stops working, and then you have to like make that decision whether you carry on. And trust me, believe me, I held on to that decision for probably quite a few years more than I needed to, because it was just the unknown of being single again, I guess. I didn't know what it was. But everyone will reach the end of that point one day, and yeah, it was kind of like a joint decision. We both knew that things hadn't been right for a while, but I just kind of like put it forward. As you know, I'm quite vocal, and we kind of just decided to have a break. That was how it started off. We was just going to have a break, see how things went. But yeah, things turned, it changed, and I haven't spoken to him probably, I can't say like since the day we split up, because there was like messages after that, but I probably cut all contact with him about a month after we split up, and I've only ever seen him twice since we split up, which is quite strange, because we're in like quite a little town, and you would think that you'd be bumping into each other every other day, but luckily we haven't. It's only been twice. Once at a club, the club I went to with B on our first time out, when we went to see his friend. He was walking out as I was walking in, a little bit awkward, but hey ho. And then I saw him once at a shopping centre. I was walking around one way, he was walking the other. The first thing I clocked was the trainers that I bought him on his feet, and I was just like, oh. And you just carry on walking. And it is strange and it is weird, because I find it sad in a way, because people say you grow up together, like all of this, we thought you'd last. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. And if I've got any younger viewers watching, I don't really know, I don't know the age content of people that watch me, but if anyone's in a relationship and it's been from a young age, and things haven't been right for a while, and you keep telling them and it goes good and then it digresses back and that, and you have the fear of being on your own, let me tell you, I had that fear for about 2 years until I said like enough was enough. And you know what? I do not know what that fear was about, because when I was single, it was just like I had this weight lifted off me. I didn't have to answer to anyone. I didn't have to check in with anyone. I didn't have to run things past anyone. I could go to the gym every day if I wanted to. I could go out with my friends. I could go for meals without having someone like, where are you, da 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 da. Don't be worried, because you know how I should have looked at it and how I look at it now, as horrible as it sounds. If anything was to happen in the future with me and B or whatever, you're fine on your own. You was fine before you met that person, and you'll be fine after that person. As horrible as that sounds, you have to be realistic, my lovelies. And yeah, but as I say, touch wood, Me and B were all right. We have a few bickers here and there, but nothing's going to happen with us just yet. Unless he keeps eating my food. As we all know, share bags are Shannon bags, not Shannon and Brandon bags. So we might have a little bit of a problem there. But yes, light-hearted fun. But yeah, looking back at younger Shan, I think, what was you worried about? If anything, I thrived being single. I got myself into shape, loved life, and then I met B, and look, I'm piling the weight back on. But hey-ho, that's comfortableness. But, my lovelies, I've been rambling for quite a long time looking at this little timer in the top. I'm feeling quite meh because I've had my cider on an empty stomach and I want my roast dinner and I can smell it cooking, but it's not quite ready yet. It's still probably got like an hour's left, so I'm going to have to find something to snack on. Maybe some bits of cheese. I think I've got some mini cathedral cities left. Probably not the best bits, but hey-ho. But yes, my lovelies, that is our relationship one for the month. As I say, if you've got any other topics you want me to do, just let me know down in the comments box. I have a list of what I want to go through, and some may be like a little bit of a repeat. Oh, just having a little YouTube update there. Some of them may be like a repeat, so we might come across relationships once again in the future, but like a different spin on it, for example. But yes, I love these videos. I think they're chilled. You probably think I rabbit on too much, but hey ho, this is me. If you're new to the channel, my name is Shannon. Hi, and I do rabbit on for England. I love shopping. I love my share bag snacks of crisps, and that's about it. But yes, if you are a returning subscriber, you know I love you. And if you are new, hello, welcome. We upload 3 times a week on this channel, and we've got little regular routines over here. We have at the end of every month a monthly favourites. Good old classic video that I absolutely love watching. Every month we have a sit down with Shan and we go over any topic that is on the list or that you guys request. We have 3 minimum bargain shop hauls a month. We're starting to get some more fashion in there because now things are open. We have at least a big long vlog every month. 1 to 2 food shops a month, which are like vlogs in themselves. But yes, I'm rambling as always. As I say, I just want to say thank you. I'm feeling very appreciative today. I think because everything's like opening up, we can start seeing people again. And yeah, I'm just feeling very appreciative. So thank you to everyone who does watch me, everyone who's followed me, whether you've been from the beginning, a newbie, anything like that. Thank you once again. I need to stop rabbiting. I'm getting very hungry. My belly is murmuring. I want some cheese. If you did enjoy the video though, you know what to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment of anything you want to discuss throughout this video, or if you've got any topics further down the line you want me to do, just let me know. Or if not, and you just want to chit chat, let me know even so, because you know I love a good chit chat. So I'm going to let you get on with your day because I've been rabbiting for far too much in your ears. Take care, stay safe, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye!